Stony tracks, lots of dust and speed on the menu of the competitors of the Dakar on their way to Tantan for stage 5. The battle for victory goes on in the bike race, and the two main favourites look to be title holder Cyril Dupre and Spaniard Marc Coma. A bad day for BMW and Nasser Al Attiyah. The X3 driver suffered serious mechanical worries. Yesterday, the competitors of the 28th Dakar discovered the first sand stretches and dunes alongside the locals. Tricky for the newcomers, with already quite a few falls in the dunes of Merzouga. Camels crossing the deserts, quads, bikes and cars stuck in the sand. And quite a few withdrawals as expected on the day. A long and demanding race it was. Frenchman Eric Vigoureux was forced to stop after damaging his Chevy Pro truck. And a nightmare it was for Vigoureux. There was another competitor in the Wadi, and I wanted to overtake him on his left. Unfortunately, there was a huge hole. The Pro truck went over it, so we damaged the transmission box.
Assez dimensionné pour pouvoir passer ce genre de difficulté. C'est le boîtier de direction qui fait fusible qui a explosé. Donc voilà, il nous manque juste un boîtier de direction.
Day over for Eric Vigoureux on his US vehicle, but also for 28 other vehicles, some of those eventually making it to the bivouac late at night. Latvia's Yanis Assis, but also Great Britain's Nick Plum. Race over for him. But the biggest name of them all was that of Hiroshi Masuoka, forced to bid farewell to the Dakar after crashing and damaging his Mitsubishi. This morning in Ouarzazate, the Pajero Evo 4 was towed away by a local truck. Hiroshi Masuoka withdrawing from the race after only the second African stage. Two-time winner of the Dakar back in 2002 and 2003. And a sad day for the Japanese and for Mitsubishi. Fast, stony stretches and navigational tramps are what the competitors were to expect for today's stage, going from Ouarzazate to Tantan, a 187-kilometer liaison before a 350k special, and then all the way to the Atlantic Ocean. Beware of the punctures on this 5th stage of the Dakar. Ouarzazate this morning, still the same freezing cold temperatures and an early start for all the bikers. This was to be the last Moroccan stage of the event, and already the competitors will have covered a third of the Dakar course. Marc Coma explains that we have a 350 kilometer special, typically Moroccan, going to be very long, all the way till Tantan, and then tomorrow we'll be in Mauritania, where the moment of truth will finally come. Well, taking off in 4th position today, Cyril Dupre looked to be the favourite for the day stage. Very satisfied by his new KTM 660. The title holder started behind his main rivals, but it wasn't an easy start, however, for the Frenchman, who got lost after only 25 kilometres. Cyril Dupre, who eventually found the good way and was to catch up with all his main rivals. So navigational difficulties at the beginning of the stage for the title holder, but then he stormed to victory. Dupre first caught up with Chilean Carlo de Gavado, the KTM Repsol rider. And then it was Mark Coma, other race favourite of this Dakar. And both men were to carry on together all day. Mark Coma, the overall leader before this day's stage. And very physical stuff indeed. In the few sand stretches of the day, a lot of dust. That's what all the riders explained at the end of the special. And obviously a lot of speed, although the speed limitation this year is of 160 kilometers an hour. Cyril Dupre about to catch up with Mark Coma. That was just before CP2 at around kilometer 200. Both riders are certainly going to be together until the finish line in Dakar. These are the favourites for the day's stage. These are the favourites for the overall classification at the end of the Dakar on the shores of the Lac Rose. Isidre Esteve took off in first position today after clinching yesterday's special. Not an easy task, with his main rivals just behind him and certainly seeing the dust behind his bike. Well, Dupre caught up with his KTM Gaulois teammate Isidre Esteve, who struggled with rear brake problems. No rear brake from kilometer 50 to CP2. And finally, a moment to repair. Explains that he lost a plate of the rear brake at kilometer 50. And he had to ride all the time without braking. But he also explains it's okay now. All has been changed. David Frétinier, the Yamaha driver, and Cyril Dupre explaining that today was a dirt bath. Some take mud baths. For him it was a dirt bath. He rode a lot of kilometers in the dust, was very careful, but the stage was nice, technical, and extremely pleasant. A bad day it was for this man, Jose Manuel Pellicer, who suffered a serious crash. He eventually got back on his 2 feet, but was forced to withdraw. In the top 10 of both European stages, adios Pellicer. And so victory eventually went to the Frenchman, the title holder, Cyril Dupre, who crossed the finish line after 3 hours and 47 minutes, 3 minutes and 41 seconds ahead of Mark Coma, the overall leader before this special, and still the overall leader tonight, but only with a 1 minute 25 second advantage on Dupre. Third on the day, as expected, another of the race favourites, Isidre Esteve. Difficult task starting first. He crossed the finish line 5 minutes and 18 seconds adrift. Fourth, and what a performance it was, Ruben Faria of Portugal. Second for the first stage, first of the second stage. Well, he's proving that he can also ride in Africa. A newcomer on the Dakar, who only lost 8 minutes and 14 seconds. Thumbs up to the Portuguese. Fifth position for Carlo de Gavado, the Chilean, 8 minutes 21 adrift. And another of the KTM Repsol boys eventually finished in 6th spot, Andy Caldecott, the Aussie, but he was given a time penalty for missing out on a waypoint. Caldecott, the winner of the first African special. David Casteux, support rider for Isidre Esteve, still impressive on this Dakar. He finished 8th, losing over 11 minutes, just ahead of Paul Anders Ulevalzeta, also 11 minutes adrift. The first of the Yamaha boys, David Bretignier, on his lighter 450cc machine. Well, he had to settle with 10th position, losing an extra 13 minutes on the day, having problems competing with the big KTM boys. So victory number 2 for Cyril Deplay in this Dakar, his 12th special victory overall. Mark Coleman second position, close to 4 minutes adrift. In the overall, Coleman has a 1 minute 25 advantage on Depré. Isidre Esteve is third, over 6 minutes adrift.
Ouais, je gagne, j'ai repris quelques minutes.
Well, I win today and I reduced my delay in the overall by some minutes. But for now, the overall is not important. I even don't know exactly my ranking. The important thing is to find a good pace and to stay in touch with the leaders, because today we got a sort of natural selection.
La sélection naturelle s'est faite aussi avec quelques pilotes et c'est une réelle sélection naturelle.
Today's stage, explains Mark Como, was not easy because there was a lot of dust, visibility was very poor, and you had to pay attention to any little detail, especially because the terrain was very stony. It was very difficult today. The track became much faster, and even if it was quite stony, you could take a rather fast pace. I was caught up by Cyril, and I caught up Isidre in the lead and tried to overtake them, but it wasn't possible. Anyway, everything went well today. It's been a good stage with much riding and almost no navigation. 50 kilometers into the stage, I lost a piece of my rear brake, and I did 150 kilometers without a rear brake, so I had to be very careful. It was rather dangerous out there. The assistance, the refueling, I repaired the brake.
I'd missed one waypoint, and I probably only missed it by 100 metres or 50 metres, but it was just so dusty. I was that busy just watching the track and watching, trying to see where the bike was in front of me and stuff, and I just taking no notice of the GPS, and I was already 10 kilometres past by the time I realised that I'd missed the thing.
A Dakar legend is no longer in the race. Hubert Auriol was forced to quit the event during yesterday's stage 4, going to Ouarzazate. His brand new Isuzu pickup suffered a water cooling failure. A shame for Hubert Auriol, who is back to competition after a 12-year break. A new challenge for the 53-year-old driver, who leaves the event only after 2 African stages. Part of the Dakar history ever since the first edition in 79. Auriol won the bike race in 81 and 83, showing talent and courage in those good old days when the event was a hell of an adventure. But after a bad accident in 87, he switched to 4 wheels in 88 and entered the history books when he won the 92 event from Paris to Cape Town, becoming the first competitor to win in both the bike and the car race. And in 95 he switched to another job, race director. Auriol, the boss of the Dakar, until 2003. And briefing time for Monsieur Auriol, a short break, and then he was back for his 17th Dakar.